Hey everybody, so I didn't show you guys the initial flipping, but I put it on my life. When I did my random flip today, I came upon this, and I always read. I'll start with the first chapter that is the beginning of the first chapter of whatever it is passage I read to. So for this particular opening of this part of the Bible, the first chapter that is on these 2 pages is this: Judgment on the whole earth. So here we go. This is what it seems I need to share with you guys. Behold, the Lord will empty the earth and make it desolate, and he will twist its surface and scatter its inhabitants. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the slave, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the creditor, so with the debtor. The earth shall be utterly empty and utterly plundered, for the Lord has spoken this word. The earth mourns and withers, the world languishes and withers, the highest people of the earth languish. The earth lies defiled under its inhabitants, for they have transgressed the laws, violated the statutes, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore a curse devours the earth, and its inhabitants suffer for their guilt. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are scorched. I'm sorry, but it's like I can't help but reading this and feeling like some serious vindication. And I don't like feeling that way. I really don't. But it's like it's physics. Like there's no other way this goes about. If we don't learn this lesson, we're fucked. It's that simple. It's just like a drug addict. They continue using drugs, they're fucked. Same with this. We're continuing to rely on a toxic way of living on all fronts. We're fucked. I mean, I don't know how else to say it to you guys. And it's like I'm the dude who's devoted his life to turning that all around in every fucking possible way that I possibly can. And people don't even want to talk about this shit. And I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's like that's my job, and you guys are choosing. I shouldn't even have. This is the point. I should not have to be doing this. All of these instructions have been laid out to us for thousands of years. We have been disobedient. We have been disloyal. We have continued to fuck up this earth, knowing we're fucking it up, and people have hardly done a damn thing about it. Whole past 60 years has been. All those people from the past 60 years knew better. They came from higher vibrations. All of our parents knew better. They came here with hearts to change. That's why the hippie movement was so powerful. The only thing is they stopped. They didn't want to do the work. They had the parties, they had the sex, they had the music, but then the work. It's like, okay, well, that you got that part going, but what about the harmony of the earth? What about changing it from this tyrannical system and this consumerism-driven toxic system into something that's good, that's actually in alignment with not just the word of Christ, which is the real covenant, the everlasting etheric connection, but even the U.S. Constitution. If people just took a second to read it, they would realize the way America is being run is not in alignment with the U.S. Constitution. And if the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land as it is clearly stated, then that should be all we need to change all this shit that is not in alignment. The only reason why it's not being done is people didn't care enough. Nobody took enough time out of their lives to do what I'm doing and to sit down and go through it all from 0 to fucking 100, A to Z, all the way, 100%, with every single aspect of our reality, starting with the most smallest to the most dire. Starting with the most dire to the most smallest. It's exactly what I'm doing. And it's that's all we gotta do is get on board with that the best way we can, and we're good. But people don't want to do that. They want to continue living this life thinking they can. It's like, okay, you can't, but I mean you can, but you gotta deal with the consequences that come with that. So although I don't believe, and I'll go into this, I don't believe everything that this Bible has to share, the main concept, the main theme, the instructions that it shares, and how it can raise anybody's potential vibration into a higher plane, I do full-heartedly believe in. And this is why I think it is the most specific instructions a human being can use to elevate themselves to a higher dimension. It's also why I think it was purposefully infiltrated by evil forces to turn people away from its true potential. And the biggest way I think they've done that is by making people feel like they're shit compared to Jesus. And this is something that once I first heard it coming from a Christian's mouth, I was like, it didn't feel right. And he was trying to talk about it with Josh, who was a dude who grew up in New Orleans, so he knows more about it. I didn't grow up with the Bible. Like, we're supposed to be Christians, but my family did not study it. We didn't go to church. We didn't talk about it. None of that. But technically, I guess we were Christians, even though we never ever really celebrated it like we were supposed to. But anyway, so like I don't know the specifics of the Bible at all. I've always liked Jesus and the feeling I think about Jesus, but I really didn't know anything really specific about what he did or what he stands for or anything like that. Just that he liked to help people and he was about love. I like that. So as I've gotten deeper into this, it came upon to me from a friend who's no longer here, sadly, due to alcoholism. He told me like one of the things with being a Christian is that like we ain't shit compared to Jesus. And I was like, that's wrong. Like that's not at all the way Jesus would want us to think or in alignment with divinity, because every being is precious. Every being, a spider, a worm, a bug, a maggot, they all have their place. And I don't value anything over anything else. If I kill an ant, I feel horrible about killing that ant, just like I would a person. I mean, I don't, some people see distinctions, I do not, okay? So with that being said, to hear somebody like a Christian who's supposed to be the most enlightened, perspective, talking about how under that perspective you're supposed to like look at yourself and others like you're shit, like you ain't shit compared to Jesus. That's something that they're pushing, but then there's also this clause in there to how we're supposed to be like Jesus. So it's like, hold on a second. If we're really supposed to be like Jesus, then anything that gets in the way of us being like Jesus should be thrown away. So like that mantra of thinking that we're like shit and like holding us to a lower grade of respect than we should to Jesus is wrong, because then we're going to start diminishing each other. We're not going to believe in what we can do. If we're really supposed to be as much like the Word as we can be and should be, then we should be as believing and in celebrating and perpetuating of the Word as much as possible. Therefore, mantras and thought patterns like we ain't shit should be thrown out the fucking window, because that's not at all how he wants us to think. If he really wants us to be like him, he's not going to tell us we're like shit. Isn't it also said that we're made in his image and likeness? If that's true, then we're not like shit at all. Like, they take that completely out, because that's going to get in the way of somebody's ability to help starving kids, to help another peer, to help. If you're thinking like that, then you're going to think you can't do it because you were told you were shit. That's not true. And I don't think that's at all what Jesus would say. I think that's what these priests and these leaders of these churches that are really largely, to a lesser or greater degree, connected with nefarious evil organizations, but they're always going to try to do their best to make themselves appear like they're good. So it's going to be very hard to actually pinpoint the exact evilness that they're doing unless you look at every single aspect of their life and you break it down, and anywhere that they're neglecting a problem in their life is evidence of them perpetuating more evil into this world. That's how we need to be looking at these priests and every single church organization to find out who is really fucking who. Sorry, let me get back to the message. The earth withers, the earth lies, for they have transgressed, broken the everlasting covenant, its inhabitants. The inhabitants in the earth are scorched, and few men are left. The wine mourns, the vine languishes. All the merry-hearted sigh.